Hey, it's your boy DJ Wolf here. I gotta talk about this. When I was in high school, long time ago, I was a freshman, junior freshman? No, I wasn't. I guess it was freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Anyway, I was a sophomore, 10th grade in high school. Over at Glenville, in my hometown, Cleveland. And there was this white teacher. I can't think of it. I used to know his name. I just can't think of it. But anyway, here's a white teacher I had. Nice guy. Kind of cool. He was an older guy. And he was kind of on the hip side a little bit. There was only one issue that I had. He taught black history. And so one day, the report cards come out. So my dad talked to me. He said, hey, how the hell you get an F in black history? So I told him. I wasn't used to a white teacher teaching me about black history. It bothered me. I had nothing personal against the teacher who taught me because of the color of skin. I just wasn't used to a white guy trying to tell me a narrative about my history and my people. It bothered me. For years we were talking about, how, slavery and how white people always try to control the narrative even to this day. And yet I got a white guy trying to tell me about black history. How do I know if he's being honest about what he's telling me? And I was probably about 15, 16 years old, trying to figure out what the hell was this all about. And at the time when he did, I'm sure they wasn't hiring him because of his skin color. They hired him, I don't know. They hired him because of his knowledge about black history as a black history teacher. You see, even in the 1980s, there weren't any textbooks or workbooks about black history. I don't know about now. Matter of fact, I talked to my son. He said they never taught him black history either, and he graduated in 2010. But what the teacher was doing, he actually assigned us books written by black authors about black history. And he went in length about those books at times. And we actually were assigned stuff from him directly about black history and our knowledge of it and test us out with it. It wasn't his fault about the fact he was white teaching black history. I think it is, personally, I think it's the fault of our society who don't accept the fact that there ever was black history and try to damage our culture because it was black history. And I guess the mindset for me at the time, because I was still a teenager, still a kid, was the fact that I kind of felt out of place, that a white teacher was out of place, trying to teach me something that he really didn't have a real experience with because of his skin color. That's what bothered me at the time. So my dad had a long conversation with him. And my dad came to the conclusion to me, he said, it don't matter. The guy's a good guy. He knew stuff about black history. We had a great conversation about things. And you need to do better. I think I ended up getting a C or something, or B out or something. I don't know. But for me personally, and to this day, it did bother me because even then, I thought about the fact that a white guy trying to teach me black history was basically trying to control the narrative of my perception about my black culture, coming from a different perspective, from someone who really didn't experience black culture the way black people did. Martin himself worked for a network called TV One. Although there were black people that were hosting shows and stuff on TV One, and he was I think he was like the news director for TV One, if I'm not mistaken. Although he was, primarily there was no real objectives in terms of the type of newscast that he did on the show. The narrative was still being controlled by white involved media. TV One, I know it's not solely owned by blacks. I know it's not. Yeah, you got black people running, but it ain't solely owned by blacks, just like BET wasn't. That's why their narrative changed. You know, BET used to have a whole news division of black folks running that joint. You know, and Bob Johnson did run BET, but he didn't run it as a complete black entity. It was just a black television network. They had a black CEO and executive on it. But white people actually had a share in it. That's a known fact. But once he sold his share of BET, a lot of those programs, and they had great programs. He had Teen Summit. He had a show called Hits on the Streets that was pretty good. It was actually funny, but it was pretty good at times. You had Tavis Smiley. You had a lot of, matter of fact, BET at one point ran a nightly news. You know, yeah, all those great programs. Teen Summit, I was in my early 20s when I watched Teen Summit, and it was one of the best shows on TV. I used to watch it all the time. It ran for like, I think, 10, 11 seasons. It's a damn shame that that show got canned. There's no reason they should have ever canned Teen Summit. Teen Summit taught you about things going on with AIDS, world hunger, teen purchase, all that. And the teenagers actually, they had brought kids on there to talk about issues and all of that stuff, and they brought celebrities in to talk about things that they were going through growing up and all of that. It was a great show. I would have loved to at least saw it in syndication. You know, but the narrative got taken over, even though it was a black, quote-unquote, black television network. The narrative was still controlled by the powers that be, white people. That's a fact. You know. So the thing of it is, and what I'm trying to say is, until we can control our own narrative with our own perspectives about our own history and our own culture, and I'm talking about full control of that, taught by, written by, and owned by us solely. Therefore, if we don't, we will never have original thought behind our own narrative. That's the bottom line. This is DJ Wolf. That's all I got to say about it right now. I just had to get that off my chest. Give you a little something to chew on. Alright? I'm going to try to work on doing a live podcast. But, again, this weekend's going to be a little tied up. So, it's likely I probably won't get to a live podcast. It'll probably be between now and next week sometime. But I'm going to work on it. Alright? Either way, if I have to do it off my phone. But that's all I got. This is DJ Wolf. I'm out.